Oh, so there we go. I was so weak. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with me, Chris Kane, and we're talking Dolphins. So we're gonna start with the Miami Dolphins put out a hype video for the 2025 upcoming season, and a lot of fans are not here for it. It's not because the video is not well made. It's not because the video isn't good. It's like the season just ended. People are kind of like, well, and then it's like, yo, time to put in work. I think we don't need this right now. I'm one of the fans. I'm like, hey, this didn't hit me. I don't feel hype because it's weird. The hype video is supposed to get you hype for next year, right? That's the idea. Like, let's start conjuring up some energy. But what is there to be hype about? Like today, we drafted no people. We've lost coaches. We haven't made any trades. What am I hyping? We didn't make the playoffs last year, and you're saying, let me show you a John Smith highlight. I'm like, yeah, that was great. We went 8-9. Yo, I'm gonna show you Tyreek. That's cool. We went 8-9. What is the hype? Post draft, make a hype video. Yo, we just got Abdul Carter, and you show him at Penn State, ripping, punching people in the chest, fumbling ball. Like, I'm good with all of that. We got a new quarterback. You see the ball 70 yards in the air. That's beautiful. That's what the hype is. Before you do anything, what are we selling the fans right now? It felt tone deaf, is the best way I can describe it. And again, I'm not usually I don't usually see hype videos right like a day or two after the Super Bowl. They might come out every year. This might be something the Dolphins have been doing, that other teams do, and somehow it just missed me because when the Super Bowl ends, I almost turn my football brain off. It might just be me. Some of y'all might feel the same way. So the idea of like 6 months out, I'm supposed to be like, here we come. No, I can get hype about the draft. If they showed me a bunch of offensive tackles, some cool safeties, maybe an outside linebacker, and it was like, who will Miami draft? Who will be the new Dolphin coming up in April? The draft. I'll watch that. That hypes me up because I'm like, oh, I hope we get some of these guys for the hype video. But I don't want to see the same people from last year that went sub 500. What are you hyping me up on? That was weird. Um, One fan was hating for real. He said, y'all been making hype videos for 25 years and we ain't won one playoff game. I was like, ooh, they're not wrong. It's like, I've been hyped for a quarter century. Like, this is the time. And then it just hasn't happened. So I thought it was a little tone deaf. I don't hate the fact that we decided to try to reach out to the fans. I don't know there wasn't anything for sale yet. We don't know the schedule for next year, so I guess are they selling tickets this early? It feels just mad premature across the board. So I assume they're gonna put out more hype videos. I will wait. I would hopefully don't give me another one until after the draft, or unless we make a big blockbuster trade and then okay, let's talk about the potential. If we get Miles Garrett, make a hype video. If we don't get Miles Garrett and just the same, ain't nobody trying to see that. Keep it to yourself. So we mentioned the DNs. We mentioned like Philadelphia after their game on Sunday, dominating on the D line. That Miami has some of the formula to do that. We have some great players, but the money is always a money thing. And so Bleacher Report came out today talking about there being a potential trade for not Nick Chubb, Bradley Chubb to Green Bay because Green Bay is desperate for DN help. They have a little bit of money, more money than we do, and they have pretty good draft capital to spend. And so if Miami could trade Chubb in the offseason, they can basically void the last 3 years of his deal, which is a lot of money we're not paying out to him, and get a little bit of trade compensation back. The problem is that we won't be able to trade him until realistically post June. And so the draft compensation won't be until next year's draft, which, if it's based on how Green Bay performs, Green Bay's a playoff team generally. So these are like late, probably third and fourth round picks. I don't believe we can get a second or first for Chubb. But if the idea is that we can help fortify the team, if we think next year's draft is going to be better than this year's draft, and you're kind of building up for the future, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I am tempted to run it back, but I have a thing with injured players that I get out on injured players early. Like I'm okay with if you leave. Like we mentioned Mekhi Becton yesterday. I understand why the Jets let him go. I get it. They didn't do anything wrong based on what he has shown them. He has shown them when I'm on the field, I'm not great. I get hurt a lot, and I'm a bigger dude, so I seem more disposed to getting hurt. So they cut bait. Totally makes sense. It's a rare moment. I'm not blaming the Jets. I love blaming the Jets because they're terrible. But this moment, not blaming them. It made sense to let him go. But Philly had a year, a little bit of money, and he blossomed for him, right? So sometimes you can take the risk on an injured player. Look at Saquon Barkley. Saquon was hurt, what, 3.5 of the 5 years with the Giants, for real? Like 1 year he kind of played through the injury. 1 year he was great, and then he was hurt the other years. And then he went to Philly and played every game. Never even rolled an ankle. Like, just super strong the whole season. The Christian McCaffrey was hurt a lot in Carolina, went to San Francisco. First couple years, all pro, amazing. But then now this year, hurt. Right? So sometimes it comes back around. Like if Michael Thomas is available this offseason, who's going to get him? He's basically missed 2 full years. And a year before that, he wasn't great anymore. So it's like, I don't know. Injuries are a big deal. Bradley didn't play at all last year. So the idea that he's going to come back this year and be stronger, he could. He's young enough. I believe he has the work ethic to do it. But if we can get off of it, save some money, get some draft compensation, we can get a third. They can get a third and a fourth, or a second. I don't see a second happen, but a third and a fourth, and maybe even a future sixth. So like if we can get a couple picks, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I don't want to make Green Bay a better team. I think Green Bay is currently better than Miami, and then making them better is kind of a weird thing. But if you can get something back and not have to be tethered to an injury-prone player, I'm actually kind of okay with it. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Finally, this is an odd story. Some of y'all don't want to hear about this because it's kind of wild, but Dion Jordan popped back up on the news. He was on the Fish Tank podcast with OJ McDuffie, and they were asking him about his time with Miami. Now, some of you don't remember because you're too young as Dolphin fans. We drafted Dion Jordan out of Oregon in 2013. Third overall pick. We actually traded up from 12 to get to 3 to get this guy. Here's why that's such a wild play. Because the 4th pick in that draft was Lane Johnson. Future Hall of Famer. One of the best O-linemen in the last 15 years. In his 30s, still going strong, still amazing. We just said, nah, we wanted DN instead. We could have had Lane Johnson, actually. He was right there for the picking. So we moved up to draft Dion Jordan because we thought he could be like he was kind of a lean guy. Because everybody always jumps to Taylor, and that's like, he wasn't going to be the GOAT. He wasn't going to be Jason Taylor. But maybe they thought he could be a baby version of Jason Taylor. Again, Jason Taylor is a Hall of Famer. But he, frame-wise, I think looked like Jason Taylor. And so we jumped up. He was good at Oregon, and he was not good for Miami. Played 26 games, got suspended a couple times, substance abuse, maturity issues, all that stuff. We let him go before his contract even really came up. He went to the Seahawks, went to San Francisco, and then retired in 2020. And they asked him about how do you feel that a lot of the fans in Miami don't like you because we thought you were going to be our future guy, and then you were bad. It's not even underwhelming. He could have been better. You just were not good, and it didn't seem like you were making the effort to be better. It's not like I'm inexperienced. Give me more practice, I'll get better. It was, you don't care about football for real. And that's the worst thing for fans. Fans hate when players don't care and don't put the effort in. If you're not good because you're undersized or you're short or whatever, that's one thing. But to just be like, I got money, I'm a top 5 pick, I'm in Miami, it burns fans. And so he is not well liked. He's not super well received. And they asked him about it, and he was candid about his response. Look, that's part of the game, But also, I enjoy my time in South Florida. I love South Florida. I love the people, and that was my journey. I'm grateful that I had the chance to put that jersey on. I want to get back out there, be able to, in some form or fashion, support and be around, but it's no hard feelings. I don't feel no way. Hey, man, I understand. I get it. I appreciate his candor on that, right? And he's saying basically, I'm not mad at them for being mad at me because he didn't do his job. It would be like if not Demarcus Russell, who's the quarterback that played for the Raiders? Um, he played at LSU and went to the Raiders. I'm blanking on his name right now. Jamarcus Russell. I was thinking Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell basically didn't read the playbook. Wasn't good. Got paid a bunch of money, and Raider fans generally don't like him. And he can't be like, "Oh, forget the fans." I'm like, "Well, you didn't do your job. That's why they don't like you. You didn't show up. You didn't read the plays. You got out of shape, and you didn't perform." Like, I get it. Dion Jordan, when the team trades from 12 to 3, they think you might be perennial Pro Bowl All Pro at your position. And then when you show up and then you were just a dud, yeah, it sucks. So I would love if he can come back to the community. And I don't know, like he's an assistant coach now, so I'm sure he has football schedules he has to adhere to. But if he can come back and do like workshops and some kind of like maybe charity stuff or giveaways, I think it'd be great to get back to the community. I mean, it's been 10 years. I think most people are kind of over it now, but I'm happy. He seems mature. I like the perspective. I wish it would have worked out better, but it worked out the way it did. He said that's part of his journey. We all have our journey. His journey was him probably getting more limelight and money than he was ready for. And unfortunately, this is kind of how it works out sometimes. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Got so choked up talking about Dion. Thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. Again, keep liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for giving us your time, and we'll see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.